Hey y'all, we are back with another Journey to More webisode. And this week, y'all, this week we're talking about the confidence to build the brand of you. Now, y'all know me, I am the entrepreneur's attorney and business strategist, Jamila Morrow. I help entrepreneurs just like you, or those with that dream that's down on the inside of you, birth that thing out, structure that thing, and grow that thing while legally protecting your brand, your business, and your profits. Today, we have with us Dr. Crystal Cunningham. Now, usually I can fly off the dome with introducing someone, but this guest right here got so much going on. I'm gonna have to read it to y'all, so just bear with me. Dr. Crystal Cunningham is a clinical pharmacist, transformational curl care specialist. She's helped me out, y'all, and the founder of Bold Culture Beauty, who loves living life boldly. Fueled by her passion for helping others embrace the beauty of their natural hair, she began Bold Culture Beauty to help busy naturals save time, build confidence, and make natural hair care easy. Dedicated to changing the narrative surrounding natural hair care, she's cultivated a safe space for her curl friends to build community, overcome significant hurdles on their natural hair journey, and get the tools, support, and access needed to simplify their hair care routines and reach their natural hair goals. Y'all, let's welcome Dr. Crystal to the Journey to More. Hey, Dr. Crystal.
Hi, I am so happy to be here.
Now, I know that I just gave you a brief introduction, but your story is so jam packed. Do you mind just shedding light on a little bit more of how you got to be not only a clinical pharmacist, but the Bold Culture Beauty?
Listen, it is definitely jam packed, and it's really kind of funny because people will always ask me when they find out that I am a pharmacist, like, how did you get into natural hair care? Why are you doing this? Why would you walk away from pharmacy? And I would say first, I will forever be a pharmacist. So I did not walk away from pharmacy. Y'all stay tuned because I am using where I am now to segue into something else I'm going to create that will allow me to use my pharmacy background in a more practical way. But as a pharmacist and a Black woman, I started my natural journey, and I had a really hard time like transitioning to that space trying to be a professional, trying to look my best, put my best foot forward, do my best, be my best, show up my best. And it was just really, 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 really hard to feel beautiful and feel confident and really understand what I was doing on my natural journey. And so I realized, if I was struggling in this way, that there were other people that were probably struggling in this way as well. And I couldn't find anywhere that had the products, the information, the education, everything all in one space. And I said, well, let me be the change I want to see. And so I decided, since I had such a hard time getting to a place where I was comfortable and confident on my natural journey, that I would create a space that allowed people like me, my curl friends, to get to a place where they could make natural hair care easy. And that is ultimately how Bold Culture Beauty was birthed. I just wanted to help people feel beautiful, be confident, and make natural hair care easy.
Listen, y'all. So, she spoke that like a true entrepreneur, like a multimillionaire, could possibly be on her way to billionaire, right? Because she said, I saw a problem. Nobody was trying to fix this problem. So this is where I'm going to niche. And I'm going to make sure that that while I'm niching, I'm building up women as I go along this journey. Y'all, it's about to be fire. It is about to be fire. Listen, you should be typing fire in the chat. I don't usually do fire, but this one deserves fire, okay? Now, so we think about you transition from being a pharmacist, right? To make sure that people had what they needed to be great and feel their best selves in lives, right? How did you go about building Bold Culture Beauty? Because there's so many aspects of it. We haven't even touched on that yet.
So in order to build Bold Culture Beauty, I had to do some research first. We always have to do research. So I know what my personal struggles were, but I also needed to understand what other people's personal struggles were and what they actually needed in order to be successful. Because we always have ideas, but we want to make sure in order for your business to be successful that you are connecting with people. So I did a lot of research. I got in groups. I tried to better understand the people that I wanted to serve. And then I just showed up myself. And of course, I did all of the back end work, making sure that I was structurally sound as a business, that I did all of those things. And but I created a vision. I understood who I was trying to serve, and I made sure that I was clear on the results that I wanted to get them or to bring to them. And so I kind of like worked backwards. This is what I want to do. This is who I want to serve. And now this is what I would need to do in order to build out this business and make it appealing and actually effective in the lives of others. And so once I had that blueprint, then my job, I guess the hard part or the easy part, however you want to look at it, was showing up my authentic self and making sure that I said the things that reached the people that I wanted to serve. And so that is how I built Bold Culture Beauty. There was a lot of obedience, a little bit of elbow grease, and some work that was required as well. So I mean, it wasn't really magic, but once I had that vision and I understood with clarity what it was that I wanted to do, I ran with it. And I showed up myself and I was consistent. And when I was able to do that, the business started to grow. I'm not going to say everything fell into place, but it did make things easier when I started with that vision and I understood who I wanted to serve and how I wanted to serve them.
Y'all, she just gave y'all major keys as it relates to entrepreneurship and basically going after anything you want in life. So once she said she had a vision, right? So many times we have an idea, but do we build that thing out to be a vision? Then she did her research to make sure that, like, I know where I'm going with this thing, right? Then she said she worked backwards. And so many times for me, Dr. Crystal, it is my passion, with being here for the entrepreneurs to make sure that they understand where they have to start. Because so many people, like, I have the vision, now let me put out the product. Then the product doesn't sell. Or I have the vision, let me start doing the services. No one's coming to buy my services. You didn't go through that research part. You didn't go through that obedience and elbow grease part, because all of that matters when you're going to do something great. And I just have to speak right now to the people who are like, well, I don't have a business, but use what you have down on the inside of you, because she's teaching us transferable skills that can help us in any area of our lives. If you have a child, create a vision for that child. Now the teacher coming out of me, y'all. I don't know if y'all knew that. I used to be a teacher, so it will come out, and I love the kids. Create a vision for your child. Then work backwards on how you want that vision to come to play. Obey and put some elbow grease. Listen, y'all should be putting obey and elbow grease in the chat right now, in the chat. So we have Dr. Crystal here and Bold Culture Beauty. Let me just let y'all see some of this stuff. Don't leave the show right now. But, you can connect with her on IG, or you can support her business at boldculture.com, getting your hair products from there. She actually does hair. This is what I'm saying, y'all. She still haven't really gave us the breadth of what she does, how she transforms lives so that people can confidently build their own brand. Because we're always needing to be on brand, whether you're at work, whether you're at the grocery store, or whether you are in your entrepreneurial greatness. You're always on brand. So Dr. Crystal, she does have a logo and everything like that, but she is the face of her brand. And when I see great curls, I ask myself, what happened with me? What happened? She's like, Jamila, one, you not kind of washing right. What? I've been washing my hair wrong for my entire life. I tell people now, you probably washing your hair wrong. And you need to go have a consultation with Dr. Crystal. And then she teaches you like how to use those products. But I know in order for you to get to this place, to be so bold, you had to overcome some internal beliefs about yourself. Can you talk to us about that?
I absolutely can. And it's really funny. I laugh at myself now that I'm in this position because I can remember very clearly and vividly when I did not always feel beautiful, when it was always a struggle for me to like, even though I did well to like be confident and show up and like embody that. It was really very hard. So I had to one go through the process of better understanding the value that I carried, the beauty that I had that wasn't always like it's not always skin deep. I think people see beauty now because I am living what I know and understand about how God sees me. And I think it is very important for you to be clear and understand your value and your worth. And that when you understand that, and it's not about being cocky or arrogant, but when you understand that, it literally translates into every aspect of your life. And so my hair does not have to be perfect. My weight does not have to be perfect. None of these physical things have to be perfect in order for me to still hold and maintain value. And I have a level of value and worth and a security in love from my creator that I don't have to worry about what anybody else thinks about me, because quite frankly, if he is pleased, then I'm doing something right. And so I think I had to get to a place where I actually understood that, and not just like words, you read it words, but like you understood it and you embraced it and embodied it. And I think that helped a lot, because now I can recite to myself what he thinks about me, what he feels about me. And so when those internal negative voices try to make you forget those or try to make you question those, I have a resource that I can go to that tells me exactly whose I am, exactly who I am, and what that actually means for me, and what that means for one, how I should show up in life all the time, right? Because now I'm understanding this thing that somebody loved me so much that they did all of this stuff for me before I was even born, right? And so I can walk with a certain level of confidence knowing that, but I also understand my value and how precious I am to him, and that he has blessed me with the gift that I need to share with others. So it's almost like I have to show up, because if I'm not, I'm doing a disservice to one, the person that created me, and then also the people that he created me to serve. That was not an easy journey to go through, to understand, to accept. And I can say it well now. I'm still practicing living it well as I go through life. But I think I definitely, that was an internal thing that, because we always assume, or life shows us or teaches us or makes us feel like we have to look a certain way, we have to act a certain way, we have to show up a certain way, or have certain physical attributes in order to be beautiful. And the reality is, none of that stuff actually matters. All of that physical stuff fades. But there are certain things that will last. And something that I learned, despite whether I thought I was beautiful or not, there were certain ways that I made people feel that they thought was beautiful. And if I could know that much about myself when I didn't feel the best about myself, and I could still make them feel beautiful, imagine how much more of an impact I could have when I fully understood that. And so I think it was really quite a beautiful realization for myself, but I had to work myself through that process so that I could help other people come through that process through their journeys as well. And so that was some of the internal struggles that I had to go through just to get to a place where I want you to be confident. I need to walk through my own confidence journey in order to help you get to that place as well. And so that is kind of the thing I worked through, or how I worked through it, to get to a place where I realized that, hey, okay, I am cute. I'm gonna say it now. I'm cute, but I'm not gonna deny it. No, I'm joking. But beyond that, the way I treat people is beautiful. The way I desire to serve people is beautiful. The way I recognize the value that I carry and I hold is beautiful. And that is what makes me beautiful, beyond if my external appearance is nice. So I had to work to get there, though. And then now it's my mission to help other people work to get there as well.
Type in the chat right now: bold, culture, beauty. And it's culture with a K.
Yes.
We're not even gonna bother that one, but it's culture with a K. This is not a business, this is a movement. Like, I need y'all to understand what we're witnessing here. And we're so lucky to be a part of like the groundbreaking movement of being bold, culture, beauty. right? I just want to lean in because you all may not have had the opportunity to take in and glean everything that she just said. So her value, knowing her value and knowing her worth built her confidence. And then she said that she went to a resource to make sure that she understood her value and her worth. And her resource was God. And so once she really understood and dialed down into who God created her to be, she showed up with a level of confidence and honor. Honor for who he is and who he created her to be, and honor for who he created her to serve. And so she understood that if she didn't show up bold with the culture and the beauty that God created for her, that she wouldn't be able to honor him properly. So if we take nothing else away, we might could end the interview. We're not. But if we take nothing else away, many of us need to sit with God and make sure that we're able to honor him. Honor the things that he's put down on the inside of us so that we can then make sure that we're serving his people in the way that he wants them to be served. Right? So her business is bigger than her. My business is bigger than me because we understand this piece right here. And she just gave me language for it, right? I took down my notes like y'all should be taking y'all notes. And then one other thing that I want, two other things that I want us to lean into. Perfection does not determine your value. So many times we don't do things, or after we do things, we beat ourselves up because we've assigned perfection as our value. Then confidence increases your impact. Once you are confident, you will be able to impact more people. And so you need to get with the right people, go on over there and get your consultation or join the program that she's about to release for Bold Culture Beauty to make sure that you're ready to show up and be confident because there's somebody waiting on you to be you in order for them to fully be them. I know. Y'all ready to get this, keep it going. But so you talk about the internal beliefs, but what external things did you have to overcome? And I know sometimes people think funding and all those different things, but there's a little bit more, especially when we get to talking about our community. And I'm going to make that face there because people do not be believing in the vision. What did you have to overcome?
I think the hardest part was, well, maybe not the hardest part, but one constant thing was okay, you're a pharmacist and you're doing X, Y, and Z, and you are living comfortably, and you are going to step out away from all of this stuff that is familiar with you, away from all of this stuff that makes you comfortable. Why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. So a month goes by and you didn't make $1 million. Are you going to go find a job? Are you going to be a pharmacist? Are you going to do this? Why don't you do this? People sending you emails about jobs that they saw. And I think that can be, their heart is good because they want to help you maintain a certain lifestyle that you've already had, or they want you to do the best. But me doing the best in this season is not me being a pharmacist in that way. Right. And so I think that was a hard thing because people automatically assume if you create something, it is amazing, but they think that it's going to be lucrative straight out the gate. And when it's not, it almost is like they are projecting their own feelings of failure on you. And that's a hard thing to overcome in and of itself, by itself. But again, when you do that internal work, what they're saying to you doesn't matter. I mean, it'll sting, it might make you feel a kind of way, but you always have to keep going back to that source and remembering why you're doing this and what you're called to do. I think that is a hard part, especially when people don't 100% understand what you're doing. When they start to see the fruit, then they're like, oh, okay, I got it. But while you're doing that work, that elbow grease and that obedience, they don't always get And so I think the external pressure for people to expect you to continue doing one thing or to continue showing up one way or to continue being where they were comfortable seeing you is hard. Change is hard. Flexing different muscles is hard. And so I think that is an external thing that I had to overcome. I'm not going to please everybody by stepping away from being a pharmacist. I'm not going to please everybody by choosing to create this business. But my goal and my mission, while it is to touch as many people and impact as many people as possible, my goal in doing all of this is to make sure that I please God. And so that was just an external hurdle because some people are comfortable with you being a certain way and they want you to show up a certain way and do a certain thing. And sometimes their intentions for you are really good, but it is hard to stay focused when there's external voices telling you to go back to what you were doing. Now, you may have some of these internal thoughts already because it's not going like you planned either, right? And so those external voices will make you like, man, is this really a good idea? But you have to think like, hey, why did I do this? What was I doing this for? I didn't just wake up one day and get this idea for no reason, right? It was given to me for a reason to carry out a purpose. And so I need to stay committed to that. And so I think that was an external pressure. And then just when you see what other people are doing, whether it is related to what you are doing or not, and they seem like they're doing amazingly, sometimes that can weigh on you and kind of play tricks in your head as well. But you have to, again, stay focused. Remember what you're doing, be committed and consistent. And I think those were two things that kind of makes that entrepreneurial journey or starting any business or any new endeavor hard. Those two external things that can make it hard, but you got to stay focused and remember who you're doing it for and why you're doing it. And I think every day is not going to be perfect. Some days are going to be better than others. But my prayer is every day when I wake up, God, let me be a blessing to someone else. And if I can do that, then I'm serving you well. And so regardless of those external pressures, if I can wake up with the intention to do that and I can carry it out, then I'm here, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to. And He's going to reward my faithfulness in due season. And when He does, trust me, the whole world will know. But I mean, like, that's just, I get rewarded in multiple ways, but that is just part of it. Like it isn't always fitting into what people want you to fit into or looking how people want you to look. You have to remember what it is that you're doing and who it is that you're serving so that you can do those things.
Listen, she gave us so many keys in that moment, so many keys. And somebody was like, what's that noise? Y'all, she at her shop. Listen, she at her store. Listen, this is the type of brand she's built. This is the type of business she's built that is so multifaceted. So multifaceted. Look, she gave me a little glimpse. So multifaceted. Listen, I ain't going to do no brick and mortar yet. So she in brick and mortar. That deserves a praise God right there. You know, and some of the things that she drew out for us, right? Whatever we're going to do, we're going to have to be focused. Because so many times we get distracted. We want to join 50 programs. Stick to the one while you're in the one. Unless you need something to supplement something taught in the one. Be committed. Be consistent. And then when those external pressures come in from well-meaning people who love you, you have to go back to the source. And remember what the source wants you to do. Now, this is my favorite. I kind of remix it a little bit. But you can have purpose or you can have people pleasing. You can't have both. I'm going to say that again because y'all need to be writing this one in the chat. You can have purpose or you can have people pleasing. You can't have both. Because when you have purpose, the only person you're worried about pleasing, who's not a person, it's a being, is God Himself. So yeah, I know some of y'all are like, wait a minute, make sure we know how to contact her. Where can we get to know her? Listen, you can go on IG. She gives great motivational tips. I sit there and I watch them. And then if you're like, I need some support and I want to support this amazing business, go on over to boldculture.com. Y'all, listen, because I'm going to have to bring her back because she's so great. She gonna have to teach us on something else, especially when she launches this next version of her business. And so, confidence is really a big thing, Dr. Crystal. So big. What do you have to say to a young man or young woman or older man and an older woman who are struggling to launch out into whatever vision it is that they have in their heart because they don't yet have the confidence? What advice do you have for them?
My advice would be that you cannot build your confidence muscle if you do not take action. And so the first time I had an opportunity to speak to someone, I was not as confident as I am today, but I made sure that I was clear and then practice. And so I would say, don't let your lack of confidence keep you from doing anything. The only way you're going to be able to build that confidence is if you get out there and you try. Will your first time be perfect? Probably not. Does it matter? No, you did it. I think a lot of people get discouraged when they do something and it doesn't turn out the way they want it to. My piece of advice would be to learn from it. And this is what I tell my girlfriends too when we have interactions and we're working through different processes. Don't count it as a loss or a failure. Count it as an opportunity for you to learn. So, what did you do? What would you have liked to see happen better? How could you better prepare the next time when you get this opportunity? Because trust me, when you take the first step, you're going to continue to get opportunities and you have to make sure that you are prepared. But if you spend your time dwelling on your lack of confidence or your inability to do something, you're never going to get to the place where it comes easy or it comes natural to you. And so my suggestion would be to not let your lack of confidence or what other barriers you think you may have keep you from taking that first step. You can't swim if you don't get in the water. You can watch all the videos and take all the instructions on how to do things, but you cannot swim if you do not get in the water. So my recommendation would be for you to take action and to take it now. Take what you have, because what you have was already given to you. Take what you have and build on it. It's like the parable of the talents. Don't take it and hide it. We have an obligation to share it and to help the people that God put us on the earth to serve. So don't take it and bury it. Take it and multiply it. The more you do it, the better you will become, the stronger that confidence muscle gets, and the better you'll be able to serve the people in the capacity that you envision. I know you're looking at where you are and you know where you want to be, but you can't get there if you don't move. So I would say, do not let the lack of confidence or your perceived lack of confidence keep you from doing what it is that you were called to do, because you won't be amazing at it until you start. And nobody starts out amazing. Even babies have to be formed into their full cuteness, right? So we have to, but we got to get here first. So just take that step and learn from it. If it turns out amazing, praise God. If it doesn't, take notes and then do better the next time.
Type teaching in the chat, y'all. Put teaching in the chat. Listen, she didn't put speaker on here, but I'm going to just put it for her, because she needs to be on stages helping people be bold, confident, and feeling beautiful. This message needs to be shared across the nation, across the world. As a matter of fact, you should be liking the broadcast, sharing the broadcast, and then sending people back to this broadcast right here, because this is an important message. Someone who's listening to us, they don't really understand the importance of building out a brand. Can you talk to why branding is important for us, even as individuals?
I think branding is important for us even as individuals because it is the embodiment of your vision or your mission. It is the hello, the warm welcome that you want to give to everybody. It is the lasting impression that you want people to know about your business. And it is the invitation for those that don't know you to want to get to know you better. And so I think a lot of times we think of branding as a logo and like a cute catchphrase, but I think that branding is a living, breathing thing. It's the embodiment of your personality. It is your calling card that you give to people. And if it is not when you aren't present, then it is not doing what it's supposed to do. So you have to make sure that you are living, breathing your brand, but that even in your absence, your brand is doing the work that you would be doing in its stead, right? And so it is the way you communicate to your current customers, your ideal customers, your future customers, that you are here to serve them and that you are the real deal and that you are confident and secure in what you are giving them and what you in the experience that you want them to have. And so I feel like we have to stop only thinking of branding as I have a cute logo and I have this nice catchphrase or my website is pretty, but like branding to me is that before, during, and after, and then that invitation that you want potential customers and clients to have. Because for my current customers, I want them to feel welcomed. I want them to feel safe. I want them to enjoy being here. For my future customers, I want them to see what I have and say, I need to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that. And she has what I need. And so I feel like if we stop thinking of branding as this one static thing and think of it as like a living, breathing organism or entity, we would treat it different. We would approach it different, and we would be more intentional about the way we choose certain things, the way we share certain messages, and even like the whole atmosphere or environment that we create for our customers, our potential customers, or the people that we're going to interact with. Even if you never buy anything from me, or even if you never touch me physically, I want my brand to be such that when you interact with it, you feel good. Like you will gain something just by being in my space. And I think we have to be very intentional about making that so by being intentional about the way we cultivate and create our brand. And so stop thinking of it as a logo or a website and a cute catchphrase. Think of it as a living, breathing extension of your business. It is the embodiment of your vision and your mission that speaks when you're not available and that comes to life when you're standing in it. And so I think that's the way we should approach branding. That's the way we should view our brands. And when we are intentional about creating it, it helps do the work for us.
Listen, so many keys. Here's how I'm gonna summarize this for y'all so y'all can take y'all notes. Because I know you're gonna rewatch this one too. Your brand is the impression, the experience, and the words spoken when you're not there. And so many times we're taught and we get caught up in colors, fonts. When you said it, I almost like, man, I tell that to people in my mastermind and my cohorts, like, no, like, yes, do it, know your palette, but it's bigger than that, right? What is that impression that you're leaving on people? That's the thing that grows. Because like when we see Apple, when we see Amazon, there's an impression that happens when you get that package. I don't know why we're so happy. We need to stop ordering those packages. We need to stop. But I'm going to let that go there. But she's given us so much to chew on, and we're so grateful that you've come and you've poured out so much to this community. And people will watch this for years to come and be touched by Dr. Crystal Cunningham. Is there any last thought or advice that you have for this audience?
I would say if you have a vision or a dream, a business that you are trying to create or some kind of service that you are trying to do it. Don't wait on perfection because perfect never comes. The process and progress is what we are looking for, and you can't get there if you do not start. I think if you have been blessed with a gift that can help others, you are obligated to share it. And when you do, it is so rewarding. So I would encourage you, don't be afraid. Launch out there, right? Take that step because you won't get where you're going if you do not take that first step. And you will be surprised when you move with obedience and use a little bit of elbow grease of the fruit that you will bear. Don't let external pressures keep you from doing what it is that you have been purposed to do. Step into it boldly, y'all. Step into it boldly and be proud to do what it is that God has called you to do, and success will come. Success will come. God honors your efforts, and when you do what it is that He's asked you to do, you can't help but succeed.
Y'all, she gave us major keys, major keys. Perfect never comes. You simply have to start. You have to start. And this is where I come in for. And she told me I have an obligation for those that are looking to start a business, for those that are looking to grow their business. You want to make sure that you tap into the I am community, right? And you're like, well, how can I tap into the I am community? You can go follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook. You are already here. Make sure you're liking the broadcast, subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, you can go to my website where I have a number of free resources for you if you are interested in business. One, there is a very comprehensive business checklist. This is not your average checklist that you've seen floating around in your sponsored on social media. This is a checklist done by an attorney, and I think given download from God to make sure that your business is set up for success. And for more established entrepreneurs, making sure that you didn't skip steps, right? Because sometimes we get to this place where we don't feel successful because it's likely that we skip some steps. And so I'm here just to make sure that you're protected and that you have everything that you need. And then if you're really serious, I offer a free discovery call. I know people are like, Jamila, it shouldn't be free. I'm like, pause, the creator done told me to do some stuff. And so I'm just following what the creator has told me to do. But, you know, Dr. Crystal is here. I am here. And, you know, for those of you who are just starting out, you want to make sure that you latch on because this can start your mentorship, right? You don't have to be connected. It doesn't have to be something direct. But these are the moments and the people that you latch on to help you get ready to do what it is that God has called for you to do. For both of us, I can tell you that this is an assignment. And if we could have, we would have stayed at our cushy jobs, right? Like she's a pharmacist, she's doing well. I'm a director of a nonprofit, I'm doing well. I don't need to do no extra stuff, Lord. But it's really about making sure his people are set up to win, making sure his people can succeed, making sure his people have financial freedom to actually spend the time with him that they need to get clarity on their purpose so that they can go. All right, I know it's a lot. We thank you, Dr. Crystal, for being here. Audience, thank you for hanging with us. And I know she will see you in the Bold Culture community, and I will see you in the I Am community. Take care, everyone.